Hey guys, Tepcocyclerepair. Today working on a 2019 KTM 350 XCF. And what happened with this one, he described it as he was going downhill, he heard a pop, like a lean type of pop, backfire, and then the bike wouldn't start again. And this is what we're seeing. So we should have around 50, 46, 50 PSI of fuel pressure. And we're getting around 20 in this one, and it's dropping right back down again. So that's what we're getting. So I've had a problem with a beta in a previous video where the fuel filter in tank would crack, those plastic ones. I'm going to see if it's the same problem in this bike. It's the same year as the other one, so I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to replace it with a metal one so we don't have to worry about it again. So I'm going to get the tank off and do some more investigation. But yeah, 20 PSI, and then it drops that fast. Yeah, that's a leak somewhere, so we got to figure that out. Just getting that gas drained out of there. All right, so I don't see anything obviously cracked. Usually you can squeeze that fuel filter right there and some gas will come out of it. It's not happening this time, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that end of it into a bucket of fuel, and I'll kick it on and see what we're looking at as far as pressure. And if there's any leaks in there, I should be able to see it. But it's leaking out pretty fast. So sometimes these fuel pressure regulators get stuck and it'll just dump everything out through there. So we'll keep an eye on that. And sometimes these lines will crack also, and that could be a problem. So let's get this in some fuel and we'll get it sorted. All right, guys, so I got the pump in a bucket here with some fuel. Now, guys, be careful. This is gas. Don't use jumper wires and stuff on this. Plug it into the stock harness like I did here so that all the spark and stuff involved in kicking the pump on is enclosed like it's supposed to be. So we're going to kick it on and see if any fuel sprays out. Be cautious. Try to get as much as you can of this pump system inside of the bucket, because if it sprays fuel out, who knows where it's going to spray, because we're trying to find this leak, right? All right, so I got the fuel line on the bottom and the cap also, just to kind of slow the pressure down because we want to see what's going on. But I'm going to turn the key right now. I'm going to see where the fuel is spraying out and see if we can figure it out. Oh, yeah. All right, so there you go. All right, so I'm going to go get another fuel filter here. I'm going to be using the steel one from Napa. I'll show you which one it is, but this is what the one that I've been using on the bikes and does really good. I'll show you here. All right, so I've been using these Napa Gold, the 3095s. They're steel. They're the same size as far as lengthwise. You're not changing anything. They slide into the hoses the same depth as well. So you just got to put new clamps on there, and I have, you're going to need these clamps if you don't have them. So get the clamps so you can put these on as high pressure clamps. So I'm just going to swap this out. Just make sure you get the direction right. So when you're putting it in, pay attention to the arrow that's on there. This tells you the direction. Also on these, it's printed in right there. So let me get this on. All right, guys, so here's the new pump in here. Just remember, you get directional. I got the new clamps on. These clamps are the 8.8 to 10.5. This size right here is what I'm using. All right. I'll put a link to this kit here so you can get it online. So this filter fits in here like exactly the same. It drops in where this part fit. Like everything is the same. Direction is good. Works fine. 10 micron filter. It's going to do just fine. Now, when you put these on, the best way to do it with the clamps is to put the clamp on the filter first, and then as you slide this over, then you slide the clamp up onto the hose. Because if you put the hose if you put the clamp on the hose first, you won't be able to get it over that lip right there. All right, that helps hold it in place. All right, so we're good. Let me go put it back on. All right, so there's a couple of ways to get this back inside the tank. You can just kind of push it in there and shake it around, and hopefully it ends up in the right place and works. And usually with the curve and everything, it's going to be really close right there at it. And as soon as you get one of the threads through, you can put the nut on here or the fuel line and get it pulled into place, and then you're fine. If that doesn't work for you, put a piece of safety wire or something up through this hole, fish it all the way up, and just work it through. Put the wire all the way through the other hole where you're putting it in, tie it around the threads right there, and just pull it through and help guide it. But I'm going to do it the painful way and just send it through there, and hopefully it falls in the right place, and I'll work with it from there. But yeah, let me get that in there. You don't have to watch that. I might curse. All right, guys, when you're putting these on, really low torque. Just get that thing spun on so you can feel it. I'm using fingertips here. That's it. All right. Check them all. There's a big rubber gasket in there that seals up. it's good. All right, let's mount it back up. All right, so got the new pump in there. Just hooked up the tester again. And this bike is easy because the plug is right here. So when I'm done, with pressure is good, I can unplug this and run it until it gets down to 0. So we're going to, all right, that's on all the way. Let's hit the button and see what happens. All right, it's purging the systems, getting everything out of there. Here we go. There we go. Getting up to pressure. All right, so pressure is up now. So we got to do the cold start and all that kind of stuff. I'm just building pressure up. All right, guys, so that's all there is to it for the KTM with this fuel pump. I really like those steel Napa filters. They're working out great. This one took a little bit of time to get the pressure build up. We'll keep an eye on the pump. But after it brought it up to 50 PSI, it was fine. Didn't drop down again. I let it run for a while. It stayed there, and it starts up fine. So I think we're good to go. But hopefully it helps you out. Please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for further notifications, guys. Until next time, it's Tepcocyclerepair.